guys, it's Margaret, the Creative Madness Mama. I am trying again. I know you haven't seen all of my different tries, but I have been having a time trying to get things together, and I'm trying a newer computer and the camera built into the computer, trying to see if this will work. I have a whole thing that I did earlier today on the iPad, but I can't get it off the iPad for the life of me. Everything I have tried either says the video doesn't exist or says that it can only be done in clips. So far I've been able to release a 13 out of the 50 minutes clip from it, and so maybe I'm going to have to go back and do it about 10 minutes at a time, but the 10 minutes at a time is still taking about an hour to 2 hours to get it to go from one thing to another. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I guess I'll have to experiment more. So, as I said, my name is Margaret, and I am Creative Madness Mama. So you can find me in updates and works in progress and books I'm reading and homeschool reviews and all sorts of stuff at www.creativemadnessmama.com. It actually started as a website where I was just sharing my cross-stitch and quilt projects as I was working on them with my mom and my sisters. But then over the years I started reading more and more and more, and so I started book reviewing. And as I started getting children, I started other reviews, and then children's book reviews, and we slowly worked our way into homeschool reviews. So yes, there's still cross-stitch stuff on there. Randomly, rarely, there's still quilt stuff on there. And there's a lot of homeschool and family stuff on there as well. Earlier today, the video that I had with all my stuff out in front of me was all my whips, my works in progress, and basically where I am, status things and whatnot. I wanted to try to do another video that actually showed me and attempt to do the Know Your Needleworker tag. So I have written a few of the questions down here. So, where do you live? Well, right now I'm in West Tennessee, a little bit north of Memphis, but I'm a Georgia girl. We've lived here for several years, but I'm a Georgia girl. What do I do for a living? Well, I'm actually a stay-at-home mom. We are trying to make ends meet on one income for our family, and my engineer brings home bacon, and I cook it and feed it to our children. So, but I do book reviews and I do homeschool reviews, and so in a way I get paid in product, I guess you could say. It's such a blessing. I don't know what I would do without it, or how we would accomplish some of the stuff that we do. And so I'm really, really blessed and have been looked out for in a really good way with that. Other hobbies than cross-stitch. Well, I also quilt. I used to love making quilt tops. I mean, I guess I still love making quilt tops, but with cross-stitch, I can be working and then literally, toss it down, get up, take care of chaos. But when I'm working on a quilt top, it's, leave me alone, let me focus. And that just doesn't happen very often. So I think maybe once the kids are older, I could get back to doing some quilt tops, but not right now. This actually is one I designed. It's just a Dresden plate, just a block. But this is a quilt that I was trying to make for my mom, but I like it so much I don't want to let it go. The crochet is actually not mine. Well, I mean, it belongs to me, but it's not my craft. This was actually made by my mother-in-law. This is a blanket she actually made for my daughter, which we love. The purple blanket that you'll see on top of our little ottoman is another one she crocheted for me with the pineapples. Cross stitch is the hobby that I come back to. As I mentioned, I read a lot. I play the violin. I'd still consider myself a beginner, even though I've been playing for several years, but hopefully, now that two of my daughters are also playing with me and we're taking lessons together, I'll be able to spend more time on it and maybe advance a little bit more. But it's just a hobby. It's just something we do for the fun of it and for the love of music. Children. Yes, I have children. I have 3 children. They're 7, 5, and 2. Looking over there because there's one over there. He's very close to falling asleep. His eyelids are blinking very, very heavily, but he does not want to go to sleep. With my children, we are homeschooling, and technically I've got 2 in school, but you know, once you start teaching, there's just no way of keeping the youngest out. So I'd say I've got a kind of semi-second, 3rd grader, a kindergartner, and taught school. He's very excited about learning all of his super letters lately. Pets. At this time, we don't have any pets. I used to have a wonderful cat. We actually had 2 cats, but I used to have a wonderful cat. But he passed away a couple years ago, and we haven't gotten any pets since then. Favorite movie? I really don't know how to answer that. I mean, there's a lot of things that I like. I'm looking over here because the TV's over here. Sorry. I like movies that have been based on books. So, I mean, yes, I like City of Bones from Cassandra Clare's series, and I like The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, and I like the later Harry Potter movies, and I like I was going to say Shannara Chronicles, but I guess that's not technically a movie. That's really a TV miniseries. I mean, The Secret of Moonacre, that's one that was pretty awesome. We also love, I guess I'll move into the next one, TV series. So I love a lot of TV miniseries. So Tin Man, which is kind of a retelling of The Wizard of Oz, and Alice, which is kind of a spin from Alice in Wonderland. And as I said, the Shannara Chronicles, other TV series. Love BBC's Merlin. Love all of the DC Comics TV shows, from Arrow to Flash to just all of them. Even the new Marvel ones that have come out that are specific to Netflix. Pretty much if it's on Netflix, if it's on Hulu, or if it's on Amazon Prime, I'm able to watch it. We don't have any straight cable to the house, but we do a lot of streaming online. And the Marvel movies we buy, we love those. My daughter's recently actually gotten into comic books, so that's been fun. But in addition to that, I mean, I like stuff like Harry Potter and all of the BBC Jane Austen renditions. Very big fan of classic Masterpiece Theater. Just recently started Murdoch Mysteries, and I mean, we like all Doctor Who. We haven't watched the most recent series, but we've watched the others, and there's just a lot of things we like. I mean, we like sci-fi, we like fantasy, we like historical. I say we because I spend most of my TV watching time with my husband when we're together, and I will often cross-stitch while we're watching TV. Favorite book? Dude. I am a big reader. I used to read about 4 books a week, but since the kids have multiplied, oh, he's asleep, yay! Since the kids have multiplied, that has slowed down a lot, so I'm not quite reading, I'm maybe reading a full book a month, and that's not including children's books, which is a little disappointing, but I'm not reading as much because I'm cross-stitching. So, you know, this year cross-stitching has really taken off for me, and has gotten a whole lot more active and involved, and my passion for it has really, really gotten a lot stronger. When I was in high school, I read a Christian historical fiction book by Liz Curtis Higgs, where she took a story from the Bible and set it in not ancient, but kind of medieval Scotland, and oh my goodness, love. And I guess even before then, the first book that really just lit a fire under me to love reading was Avi's The True Confession of Charlotte Doyle. So, I mean, adventure, again, fantasy, history, adventure, things that are pulled together, and I guess strong women on adventures. I mean, those are the things that I really love. Today, I could list off so many authors, and I know as soon as I finish my list, I would have left out one, and I would be devastated, especially if any of my authors are watching this. But I love Mary Keneally and Melanie Dickerson and Misu Andrews and Laura France and so many more. I'm reading all the time, not as much as I want. My to-read list is crazy long, but we've got books over here on 2 shelves. I've got books up here on the higher shelf and books on the lower shelf that you can't quite see. And over here is our library, where we've got 3 9-foot tall bookshelves and 2 double stacked 8-foot tall bookshelves, and I've got a Kindle with just thousands upon thousands upon thousands of books. Lots and lots of books. I'm raising readers, and so far it is working. I've got one that is a solid reader. She tests beyond, she's only 7, and she tests beyond 5th grade. Beyond 6th. She could read anything, really. And so basically, as far as choosing books for her, it's a maturity level thing. But yeah, we love reading. And I've got one who's reading CVC words, so the cat sat on the mat. And then we've got a little one over here who he's starting to recognize letters. So it's a step in the right direction. We're getting there. Oh, favorite book, favorite music. I love music. I sing. That is the one instrument I've always joked that I never have to tune. It's easy for me to sing. It always has been. I wish violin came to me as easily, but it does not. Lately, we've been spending a lot of time listening to Lindsay Sterling. It's an inspiration for playing her violin music, and it's a lot of fun. Really like her videos on YouTube are fun. But really like her music. The kids love it. My husband and I enjoy it. It's good. I like a lot of soundtracks. I like the soundtrack to Underworld and the soundtrack to The Village and the soundtrack to Alias, from when they were doing their original music, before they started bringing in more sound over stuff. But otherwise, music, I listen to stuff, but I don't always know the names of the artists or the songs or whatnot. I'm not a big country fan, I'd say. I definitely don't listen to rap. I don't know that I'd really say alternative, but maybe new age, maybe European. I listen to French music. I listen to a little German music with my husband. It's not the typical stuff. I mostly listen to stuff on Pandora or from our CDs because the radio stations really aren't playing it. One word to describe me, I'd have to say creative. Not necessarily that I am creative, but that I want to be creative, that I have a passion to be creative. My original blog title from when I started in 2007 was Creative Madness That Makes Me Myself. And that was before I knew that blog titles are supposed to be short, catchy. And then later on, as I became a mom and I got a real domain, it became Creative Madness Mama. And it worked because the creative madness was that I want to be reading, but I want to be cross-stitching, but I want to be doing all these things together, and I can't decide which thing I want to do. So it was creative madness. It was either that or creative chaos. So, Creative Madness Mama just kind of rolled, and it worked, and it made me happy. So, like I said, I have a blog. I also am available online most places. I've started sharing my cross-stitch stuff mostly on Instagram, just because it's easy and it's fast and it's simple. It's a picture and then it's there. Not everything from Instagram gets shared over to my blog, but some of it does. But Instagram and everywhere else, you can find me at Cherry Blossom MJ as my handle. Yeah, so that's the Get to Know Your Needleworker tag. I don't feel like this was a much cross-stitch interview-ish. I kept thinking I would I keep looking this way because I've got a brand new start. Kept thinking I would stitch while I was sitting here, but then I'm trying to look at the camera and be personable, but this is all new to me. So I don't know if you think that videos where I was stitching while talking would be okay. I might be willing to try it out. My other video was focusing just on my fabrics, but who knows if I'll ever be able to upload that one. I'll try, but I guess we'll have to see. So again, my name is Margaret, Creative Madness Mama, and I'm glad to be joining you guys, and I hope that I can get a hang of this and share some of my projects and really enjoy it. And I hope I'm not saying as many times as I think I am, but if I am, I'm sorry. I'll try to get better at that. Okay, good night.